Talking to SABC Sport, Fiston Mayele confirmed that Nazareth Nabi did contact him in December of 2024, which is just before the transfer window of January 2025 opened. But then we know how that ended, because Kaizer Chiefs ended up signing Tashreeq Morris. And we also know that even if Kaizer Chiefs wanted to sign Fiston Mayele, who terrorized Orlando Pirates, they can't get him. Reason being, well, he is going to be very expensive. Not only just expensive to buy, but it will also be very expensive to pay. So yeah, as much as he's a good player, I think this is just time that as Kaizer Chiefs fans we forget that he's going to come to Chiefs, unless Chiefs does something unthinkable, which I think they won't do anything unthinkable, because if they did something unthinkable and brought Fiston Mayele, then what would end up happening is basically they would limit their budget in who they then sign, because according to one of the reports, they are saying that Kaizer Chiefs will be releasing a lot of players, because Kaizer Chiefs want the Kaizer Chiefs technical team want to work with a small squad. Right now, a squad of 32, 33 players, and the technical team wants to decrease the number. And we're going to go through all those players, because some of the players, their contracts are running out, and those are obvious, but some of them, they are not in the plans of Nazareth Nabi. By the way, at some point you'll see that you like the video, so do like the video when that point comes. So the first player is Fiacre Ntwari. Fiacre Ntwari, his contract, although it ends in 2028, him staying at Kaizer Chiefs makes no sense, because for him, he's a foreign player, so him leaving, he opens up a foreign spot, right? But number two, him staying makes no sense, because right now we have two goalkeepers who are playing ahead of him, and it's clear that he's not part of the technical team's plans going forward. So I don't see Ntwari playing for Chiefs anytime soon, unless Chiefs doesn't find a proper goalkeeper and then they decide to give him another chance beginning of the season. You guys will let me know as I go through all the 9 players which one you think is actually going to stay. The second keeper is Umulefe. Like Ubontle Mlefe has been at Chiefs for like the past 2 seasons now, like in terms of the senior team, but it's not even been played for 10 minutes like in one of the games, or maybe just been given a random game. I've not even seen him in friendlies, so that just tells you everything that you need to know. And a lot of people are talking about how Takalani is better than Ubontle Mlefe in any case, so it is possible that even if they were to promote Takalani, Mlefe would still not be the next in line. So I think Ubontle Mlefe could leave. It could be a loan, so that they see how it does, so that they can bring him back in case they need him, or it could also be just a straight up selling of the player. Which brings us to number 3, and this one is the most ridiculous deal that I am pissed off that I was right, because I don't want to be right when Chiefs are wrong. You got what I'm saying? I don't want to be so right about Chiefs that when they say Bongani Sam is going to Chiefs, and I say, but why would you sign Bongani Sam? He's going to get injured, and he got injured. And he's not even been seen on the bench of Chiefs since the beginning of the season, because when the season started, he was injured. With Bradley Cross, we even converted to Titlokwe to being a left back while Bongani Sam was there. We even brought back Happy Mashiane to play in that position. Dove even came back from his injury to play in that position, but there was never even a consideration of Bongani Sam being played, and it's clearly not in the plans of the coach. It's one of those players that, as much as we're speculating about every other player, whether or not they were Nabi's signings, but when it comes to Bongani Sam, we can say it with almost absolute certainty that Bongani Sam was not Nabi's signing. Which brings us to another player whose contract is unclear when it's ending, but there is Happy Mashiane. Bongani Sam, by the way, his contract ends in 2027. Ega Happy Mashiane, we don't know. It's unclear. I checked on Transfer Market. I didn't see when his contract ends. But clearly, Mashiane at Chiefs is just not working. If there is just one player who's been there for a long time, and the last good performance I think was against Maritzburg United when he came on and he played that cross. I think we won that game. But otherwise, every other game that is played, it's just glimpse here and there. It's never really something. And I know people keep on saying, when it's their favorite players, they will say, oh, but he wasn't given enough opportunities. To which I then say, but if you're saying he wasn't given too many opportunities, what did he do when he was given an opportunity? Because if you're going to rely on opportunities being given to you, you're not going to do anything. And we must remember, guys, these players are with the coaches Monday to Friday, right? They're training with them. In fact, 7 days a week, unless when they're resting. But they're with the coaches. So the coach is not seeing anything that is convincing him. Forget what it does on match day. What is it doing on other days? Like, look at players like Abo Titloko. Titloko was set to be let go in January to even go on loan to Imakis. But he came back, he re-established himself, started performing. Chiefs ended up getting 15 million from a player who was going to go out on loan to Makesi and end up probably just becoming average, and they'll get nothing. But he got a chance, he proved himself. You have players like Abomteto, same thing was going to happen to him, was going to be let go, but then he performed, and now he's on the hearts of the coach, Cheese, and now he's back playing on a regular basis. Which brings us to another player, Dylan Solomons. Yo, there is no player that frustrates Unabi like Solomons. Well, there hasn't been a greater indication of a coach being frustrated by a player than when the coach is watching Solomons. Yo, there was a time I saw him pull his pants up because Solomons failed to trap the ball. It's 9 o'clock. So I know that it frustrates him because sometimes he just fails to do the simplest things that a player can do, because he has intensity, he has pace, he's aggressive, but then he just makes the stupidest mistakes, and then that just makes you go, yeah man, you can do the other things well, but the problem is you don't use your football brains as much. Which then brings us to Tebogo Potsane, whose contract comes to an end in 2026. Injuries, that's all I'm gonna say. Gets injured way too often, he comes back, gets injured again. So then, what's the point? This thing is driving me mad. It is driving me mad. Let's see. There, that's better. Which brings us to the 3 players whose contracts are coming to an end and I don't think will be renewed. The first one is Diablo Plum. He's on loan at Kaizer Chiefs right now from St. Louis, and his loan is expiring. Plum is not giving us anything. We just need to be honest. We just need to assess things without emotions. If he goes back to America, and then he probably, comes back to Chiefs as a free agent. We trial him before Pirates takes him. Yeah. Anyways, we're not there. We're at the place where we're saying, I've talked about Bloom in the video that I published 2 days back, so that's a story. You can go check that video out. Ranga Chivavero fell out with the fans. He seemed like the coach was going to play him from the beginning of the season. He was being played, and he scored goals here and there, but then he started missing a lot. He lost confidence, but then his biggest mess up was trying to go toe for toe with the fans, and then that just ended his career at Chiefs, and his contract is ending anyway. And last but not least is George Matlow. Injuries now, because I think that Nabi looks at him and he thinks I can get something there, but the problem with injuries, it makes it very difficult to manage, which means 9 players and we're left with 33, with 23 players if we have 32 players, and that squad is much more manageable, and then Chiefs can add a few signings here and there. But what do you guys think? Do let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals Alpelumo.